India's position on equity is related to carbon space. Right? That's how we position equity as, right? Though there are many dimensions of equity, we know that. So from the carbon space perspective, it does appear that the debate will never be equitable, because the overall carbon budget is so limited that is left for the world. And if you look at the emissions of EU, US, also China, even after its 2016 net zero pledge, it is big, like 3 times that of India. Very big emissions. So climate debate will probably never be equitable from the carbon space perspective, right? So the question we are asking is, if the climate debate is not equitable, could it still be fair? And that's an interesting question. Could it still be fair in some way? And the way to ensure that it is fair to some degree is to ensure that, well, there's some compensation, and not from compensation from the perspective of the responsibility, accountability, of which this compensation helps enhancing ambition for the developing world. So the carbon space we should have, and what we actually have, right? That link is, I think, many people have talked about. The link is financing, right? In the sense, let's say India has the right to emit, let's say, 1,000 gigatons of CO2 for its development need. And because of this climate debate, it's able to emit only maybe 300, because there is a limited carbon budget and all that. Then this 700 tons of CO2 which we are letting go of, right? In some way it should be compensated, right? So that's the finance angle. That's the other, that's not the finance perspective from the operationalization perspective. It's not talking about reducing risk of capital at all. It is from a responsibility and accountability perspective, right? That, okay, this is what you're letting go of, and in some way country should be compensated. The direction of the climate debate is clearly changed. Now we're talking about, or we need to think about speed and scale, and that is exactly where finance becomes so kind of absolutely fundamental in the larger equation. And I do hope there is a big development on that front in this COP.